plugged in to Acute Mania Live. From Shinston, West Virginia, here's your host, Scott Arnold.
It's like upside down sit-ups or push-ups, something like that, or raising the roof. You know. Welcome to Keep Mania Live. Mark is not co-hosting tonight. I gave him the night off because, well, you could have co-hosted yourself, I guess.
Yeah, I should have set up 2 cameras.
No, you should have set up 2 cameras. That way, you know, see, you know, then you have like a wig on with the, I don't know. Maybe next time we'll do that. We'll work on that for next time. Welcome back, Mark. It's nice to have you back as a guest. It's been since the last time that you were a guest. Since you know.
Yeah.
I just woke up.
So back as a guest.
I just woke up from a nap. I don't know. I took a nap for some reason, and I'm just out of sorts. So you just have to. You know, you've co-hosted with me, so you know if I get off base, just take over and interview yourself.
What do you like to do for fun? Well,
Rob wanted me to do that one time. He's like, you know, if you can't find anybody to do the show, just interview yourself. I'm like, that's dumb, but it kind of would be funny. But it would be boring, I think. You know, you'd have to like the 2 camera. You would have to go back and forth and.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe one of these days we'll do that.
I'd watch it.
Would you, just to see how much I'd screw up?
Yeah, just to see if you lie to yourself or not. You know.
That's true. Yeah, you'd have to be straight. Well, you wouldn't have to be honest. You'd feel bad though. I think I would feel bad. Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. Hey, that band that we just listened to is called Confessions of a Traitor, and for those of you that have watched, I guess for 5 years, I've had them on twice. I hit them up to be on again because they're coming back to the U.S. for another tour, but they're not coming anywhere near here. I think Nashville's the closest. So, but I've seen them twice. You know, I met them in person twice. But it'd be cool to see them. But maybe we'll try to get them on the show. I know they're very busy. They're doing very well, and but they are touring with a band called on that tour in the U.S. They're touring with a band called Meadows that I've seen. I think I saw them in Youngstown. They're really good. So anyway, they just put out a new album called "The Pain Will Serve You," and it's out. I think came out last Friday or something like that. Anyway, you have something. Is yours coming out tomorrow, or am I early? No, wait. I mean Friday. This Friday. I keep thinking
Friday. Yeah.
I keep thinking tomorrow's Friday for some reason.
Well, maybe tomorrow night, midnight. I guess would be.
Is it? Yeah. Now, is this going to be an album? I can't remember what you told me. I didn't do my research.
No, it's just a single.
Okay. Oh, the Harrowing, right?
The Harrowing, yeah.
And we'll hear that tonight, right?
Yes, we will.
All of it? It's a very long song. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 7.5 minutes
of awesome.
Hopefully everyone thinks so. I don't think when I listen back at it, it doesn't feel as long as it is. So
yeah, that really doesn't. I agree with that too. I don't think it does. No, it's good.
I try not to stay on passages for too long, stuff like that. It can be a bit harrowing for the listener,
for lack of a better description, I guess. I really like Under the Rainbow. I've been using that. Well, I was using that a lot in the posts on Instagram leading up to this. We scheduled like a month ago or something. But there's several parts of that song. I don't know what it is. It's the melody, I guess. From the beginning, that melody that's happening at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's very harrowing, but it's not. It's kind of rainbow feeling. I don't know. See, I'm very bad at this. But
yeah, I guess the idea is to take a dark riff, but provide it with some kind of beauty,
Yeah. It's very. I just like that chord progression you did there. It was just very.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Humbling, maybe that's the word. I don't know. But you have a quite a bit of a music background, with your Marc Williams stuff, which is completely different. And
right.
I see Venom, that stuff, and it's kind of like you put those elements in a way in that song, or maybe in this project? Are you trying to do that for this whole project, or is it maybe am I just feeling that off of Under the Rainbow?
Well, no, I think you're pretty much hitting the nail on the head there. Everything's kind of uh, blending together
Hmm.
in a way, especially, and I think on the harrowing, it'll even be a greater acknowledgement of that, is that it's just everything's kind of coming together to be like one thing. I just wanted to keep the Like Sorrow name.
Yeah,
Uh, of course, it started off more black metal, um, or you know, uh, DSPM maybe or something like that. But
yeah,
uh, lots of those bands progress into something else, and nothing bad to say about the bands that don't.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
sometimes your inspiration changes.
When I first started talking to Josh Jones, from Metal Inc.,
Mhm.
he came on as a guest for Obsidian Resurrection, and I don't know too much about that genre. Yes, I'm into metal and I'm into rock and stuff, but I don't know too much about I guess the dark metal, the black metal, what do they call it, any of those. I don't know too much about it, but I'm learning through you, with co-hosting with me and stuff, and like name dropping and stuff. I try to look that stuff up. I can't get into it really. It's not my preference, but
Mhm.
it's interesting to dive into the other part of the metal genre, I guess. You know,
Right.
and your music is a lot different from stuff that I listen to. And it's so good. Like if you really listen to it, like I always talk about, if you really listen to them, you hear stuff in there, and it's like, yeah, like I get it. It's just like somebody that doesn't listen to opera music, but they appreciate it. No, no, that's not a good analogy. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
Well,
it's like
that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I think, um, on some level, uh, I've always felt that a good song can transcend genres. So
yeah,
if I took it and played it acoustic, it would sound just as good if it did with electric guitars.
hmm,
Or maybe somebody threw a slide guitar in there, a steel guitar in
that'd
there.
be interesting.
Now it's a pretty good country song. I mean,
Yeah, really. Put some
um,
violins in there, and then you'd have an opera song,
right,
or something.
right. And
Or
that's
you can
kind
sing
of
it a
always been
cappella
my
even.
goal
Can you sing a
is
cappella? Can you just sing out in the shower or something, like to yourself? Or does it not work like that for you?
uh no, not seriously.
Yeah, yeah. It's for me. It's too tough. Like I can't just like with our stuff. I don't just sing it out. I got to have the music there. Because it adds energy and that. I wouldn't.
I definitely do vocals to the music and never music to a vocal track.
Yeah, that does. Yeah. Oh really? Oh, so you couldn't like just play the recording of the vocal and then play along with it? Would Would you be able to do that?
Oh, yeah, if it was like a pre-written thing, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not it would be difficult for me to like
To write around the vocals and lyrics and things.
write, like if I sang a
I think
song and wrote down everything and then try to write music to it, I
that would
don't
be
think I'd
tough.
be able to.
I don't know of many bands that do it that way either. Like I mean, I'm sure there's some, but that would be difficult to write around somebody's lyrics. I mean, even timing wise, it would be difficult. I think. How would the song progress? How would you know where the chorus is? How would you know? I don't know.
Right. And getting
Maybe
that, I need drums to get the meter of the vocals down,
right.
to know where syllables should go.
Exactly. Yeah.
If I don't have drums there, or at least just the guitar there, it's hard for me to, I don't know, in my head, I just can't hear it without some kind of beat.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Well, you have to have a metronome, all the time, like in your pocket. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Mark and I were messaging on Instagram earlier, and I was like, we were trying to think about what to do for the offstage segment because you've done it several times. You have your own special question. When you're on, and we just didn't know. Do we know what we're gonna do? Did you figure something out? I asked Mark for ideas. Like you can ask me
I,
silly questions if you want, or just any question.
yeah, Yeah, let's do that.
Is that what we're gonna do? Okay, we'll do that later.
Yeah,
We'll do that later. But
we'll figure that out.
I can't imagine what you found.
Just bullshit around.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we could have just played another song, but that's the songs are incredibly long. It's harrowing, but it's I know that was cheesy. Hey, I went down to Jacoby's not last night, the night before. Sunday, was it Sunday or Monday? I don't know, something like that. Rob and I went down there just to check it out. I had never been down there yet. That's where we're having the big 5-year thing in August. And this place is awesome. It's the stage is not like usually stages are like up against a wall. This is like a floating stage. It's in the middle. Everybody walks around you. so it's whoever if when you go, you'll be able to watch from any angle. You can watch from the. I don't know if you will be able to watch from the back because I think that's where we're going to put the the backline stuff. The tapes and things. I don't know how we're going to do that, but it's a large venue. It's not like overly large, but it's for the building. When you look at the front of this building, you're like, this place is probably really small, but when you go in, you go down like a circular, almost circular steps, and it's in the bottom part of the building, so it's massive. And then you get down this back alley, and they open the garage, and that's how you load in because it's right there. It's right into the space. So
it sounds like a pretty cool place.
Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and they have a lot of. See, the big thing around here, of course, you guys have casinos around you. I'm sure, like the big ones, the big slot machines and stuff.
No.
You guys not in Austin? You don't? Okay.
No, it's you gotta go to Oklahoma or Louisiana.
Yeah, that's right. Well, here, I mean, we have the bigger casinos here, a couple of them around the state. But in the smaller towns in West Virginia, we have these places called hotspots, or High Life Lounge, they call them. Some of them, and they just they have video lottery machines, and you can but usually bars will have these too, just to draw people in. And this place didn't do that. They decided not to do that, which is good. I like a variety. They brought in vintage arcade machines like Pac-Man, and that one that has like the boxing thing where you just hit it as hard as you can and you get a high score. Nice. Like that's in there, and that coin pusher thing's in there. And I mean, just there's it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
That sounds cool as shit.
Yes. So that's August 2nd for the 5-year in-person celebration. Of course, I'll have a series of probably shows, special kind of shows leading up to that. I know July 27th we're doing the actual 5-year show on Zoom with two bands, Arcwave and Public Figure. So it'll be the second time I've done the 2-band banger, which will be fun. You should join that one with us. That'll be a lot of fun. Those guys have been doing a lot of. Well, I don't know about Arcwave so much, but Public Figure's been touring around the country, and they just kind of got started. When I talked to them, they just were kind of getting going, and I was like, "This is good." I was like, "You guys are headed somewhere," and I said the same thing about Arcwave, and Arcwave's starting to get out and play. And it's cool to see that these guys are doing that. So we'll have both of them on. And they can swap stories and things like that. So it'll be a fun show. Thanks. I think that one's at 8:00. I think that's what time we decided on the 27th. But it's a long ways away, isn't it? It'll be here before you know it.
6 days.
6 days. July 27th.
Oh, July 27th. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. When you said the 27th, I was like, wait a second.
Well, yeah, the 27th would be. Yeah, that's technically right. Yeah, 6 days. But yeah, in 6 days, it'll be 2 months away, right?
Wow.
It'll be here before you know it. Like Christmas, It's right around the corner. Well, Christmas in July is right around the corner.
Not everyone knows about that.
I don't even know what it's for. Like, is it just is it a religious thing?
I think it's almost kind of like Toys for Tots, how that works.
Oh yeah, charity stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a charity event for underprivileged kids and stuff.
That's a good idea then. Yeah, but see, that's kind of unfair because they get presents twice a year, and then the normal kids only get it once a year. That's not really that fair.
Yeah, but the normal kid's dad gets to pay for college.
That's true. And like food on the table and things like that. So
Right, right.
yeah, so I guess it is important to yeah. I'm all for it. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Calm down. Don't sue me. Don't sue me yet. There's plenty of
I
other
knew you
things
were
I can
joking.
say. I okay, let's go. You want to save the harrowing for a second, or do you want to play it first? So that since it's not technically out yet, so we can make people wait a little bit longer. Listen to Under the Rainbow now. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll shoot the shit some more. But what do you want to say about this song before we listen to it?
This one is it's the first Like Sorrow song that I put keyboards on. So that's and I also attempted some clean vocals. Listening back, you know, I've heard that no one really likes the way they sing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I don't know about that. To me, it's I did it, but I don't know if I'll do it again.
Yeah. Well, you sing clean in Marc Williams, the Marc Williams thing.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
But that's a whole different style, really.
Right. Right.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe it works.
I didn't notice that at all in this. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. I like the song, the whole song, but it's starting with that you'll hear it in a second. The starting with that beginning riff progression that you do is just soothing, I guess. I don't. Maybe it's soothing. I'll go with soothing.
Soothing.
For now, yeah. I might change my mind in a minute. Did you get a chance to listen to Last yet? That I sent you? The band Last?
I didn't get a chance to before the show.
I think you'll like it. I can't remember what the genre is called for them, but it's kind of. I think it's kind of similar, but maybe I'm way off. I don't know. But I think you'll like them. They're really
awesome.
Good. Okay, here is Like Sorrow with Under the Rainbow. forgot to put the fade out at the end. I think your clean vocals work with that one. I really do. You're on mute, by the way. There he
So
is.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I forgot that bass line's really good too. That do 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 do. That's a lot of.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. So, like, I meant to ask you before we listened to the first song, but this is all you. All this stuff is you, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you're playing the guitar, you're playing the bass, the drums, and you're singing all at the same time, right?
Well, the drums are a little bit on, I use loops and stuff. And,
Yeah, well, yeah, everybody does. That's the
loop
easiest way
packs
to
and
record
stuff like
drums.
that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's impossible to record drums unless you know what you're doing.
yeah, it's not like I have an E kit here, actually.
Yeah, that'd be awesome though. Maybe
I'm
one day.
thinking about getting one.
Yeah.
And learning drums. I don't know how to play drums.
I could try to teach you, but I don't know how to teach somebody drums. You just kind of have to do it. That's
Yeah. I
that's the
think the
key for
trick,
me.
the hardest thing for me, talking about set behind drums, is getting your foot and hands coordinated.
But it's really not as difficult as people think it is, because I mean I wasn't a drummer. I just my buddy had one. He was a drummer, and I just kind of sat down and I was like, just teach me how to. He's like, you just have to do it. He's like, I can't really teach you. You just have to figure it out. And I did. I started. I think I started with my foot with the bass drum.
Mhm.
You can't sit down and start playing double bass. You just can't do it. I don't think that's. I
No.
still to this day I still don't. I haven't done the double bass. I've teetered. I've tinkered with it a little bit, but you just start with one and get that foot going. And then, in your head, if you can keep a beat, you have rhythm. You're a musician, you have rhythm. So you get a beat in your head or have one playing in like a headphones or on a speaker and try to mimic what it's doing, but do it piece by piece. Like we'll start with the bass drum and then add the snare in there. But you got to, with some people sit the opposite way. I don't know how you would sit a set, but the regular way you sit a set, and then, use this hand and then the one over top goes your hi-hat or your cymbals. And add that last. But don't start adding crashing cymbals until you get that hi-hat down,
Right.
That's kind of how I did it, and I just started playing that, and then you just come up with different things on your own, and then you add those I would just play along with I played along with a lot of like live, and like I did pretty much that whole Through and Copper album was pretty much the way I started out, and then I got into like heavier stuff like Korn and things like that without the double bass, and just kind of sat down with headphones a lot and did that. That's how I did it.
Nice.
I don't know. I sat at an electric set. Rob brought one over one time, and I had it for a couple nights. And I think I sat at it once because the first time I didn't like it. It's not the same. And as much as they try to make those pads hit the same as an actual drum, it's still not the same. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it sounds terrific. It really does, but you just doesn't have that
I'm
same.
limited in an apartment though, I can't
Yeah,
have
that's
a
true.
drum set in here.
Yeah, so yeah, an electric kit would be the best. Plus, you can fold it up, move it out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, but
Like a total body or whatever. Total
yeah,
Zen.
yeah. You just like a rowing machine or something. You just fold it up like this and move it out of the way. But I mean, yeah, and you might even like it, because have you sat at an actual acoustic set and played before?
Yeah.
Tried to play it. So like, as a non-drummer though, you might think that this is easier because it's just the way you have to hit it, and the way the sticks hit I can't. Maybe I just can't do it. That could be it. I didn't apply myself. That's what it was. But no, I just prefer the other one. I prefer to be loud. Who cares about the neighbors?
I would imagine an electric kit would just feel like a toy after playing on an acoustic
Kind
kit.
of
Kind
does,
of like a rock band drum set.
but it still has a response to it. Like the lighter you hit it, the lighter it's going to sound, too.
Yeah.
So, but you can't hit the. Sometimes when I play like on a snare, I hit the rim along with the snare. So it's got that. I can't remember what the sound's called, but you can't do that on the electric set. It doesn't have the rim sound.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does if you hit it in a certain spot, maybe, but it just doesn't have that. And it's just like, I don't know. I couldn't get into it. And it's plastic. The cymbals are plastic, It's not.
Right.
It sounds metal when you hit it, but like, I just couldn't get into it. It might have been the model, that he had here, but it's those boxes that makes it expensive. The kit itself isn't expensive at all,
Right.
It's the module, but you can still get them at a pretty good price now. They're not as much as they used to be, you know. So anyway, I think what is it? Alessi's I think that's the brand makes good ones. I was gonna get
Yeah, I
one.
was looking at one of theirs. I think it was like around 450 new.
Yeah,
But
that's not too bad. They used to be like $600-700 for a
uh
kit.
on Facebook Marketplace, a lot of people around Austin though are trying to get rid of them.
Yeah,
So you can get them for $100.
yeah, and it's really not the set; it's the module.
Right.
That's where everything's at. Of course, you got to make sure the pads still work. A lot of
And
them.
I mean, and no more experience than I am. $100 would be
Yeah, pick one up
all I
and
need.
tinker with it for a while. I don't know why I keep saying teeter. Tinker with it for a while, and yeah, then you'll be like, okay, I need to upgrade. Then you'll get into that stuff. But I think you can even plug the module into a computer and get sounds. I think you can do that.
I'm pretty
I
sure,
might
yeah.
have to pay for it, but it could be that much more than like a loop or something you would get.
I'm pretty sure the drum module, or not module, but plug-in that I use will accept an electric kit.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah, and if it doesn't, I'm sure there's something out there that you can get that you can mimic.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, since I don't know too much about this genre of music, I don't want to ask the wrong question. I guess no question's the wrong question. Why don't you like the clean singing? Is it not for that genre? Maybe that's kind of the question that I'm trying to ask. I don't know if that's the right way to ask it, but is it not supposed to have clean singing in it?
No, I think clean singing is pretty widely accepted. I just don't like mine.
I
You
think
know?
I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
To me, it's
But yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of work that needs to get done on my clean vocals, but um maybe it's not as big of a deal to anybody else. I just don't like the sound of my own voice is all that much.
Yeah,
But with that being said, I must have liked it enough at the time
that you kept it on there. Yeah.
that I kept it on there. Yeah, so
I definitely wouldn't like pull it down and change it. I think it's fine for that.
awesome.
If you're happy with that, just having it in that one, I would leave it. But maybe down the road, you'll get another one that's like that you're like, maybe, or get somebody else to do it if you don't like yours. If you think it fits in that section, it's a certain section.
Yeah, and I've been trying a new thing too, where I talk,
Oh,
speak like a poet.
yeah. Instead of
So I have a song that'll be coming out, I think, in September, and it's got like the whole like first half of it spoken.
what's
Uh,
you wanna reveal what it's about yet, or probably not, right?
yeah, I mean it's a love song,
Yeah.
but it's about a lost love, and a ending on a bad note type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
A lot of people can relate to that.
yeah,
Lots of people can. Yeah. Um. No, I wanted to mention too. You're on Metal Inc. and they're part of Sode Records, and I've been. We linked up around the time that Josh had hooked me up with all the. Well, he hooked me up with you. Having you on for I Seek Event, and I'm starting to get that, and I'm grateful for that. I'm starting to get these, I guess not necessarily labels, but promoters for bands. And tomorrow I have a band that they've been on. They were on last year. Was it last year? I think it was last year. They're called No Trees Touch the Sky, and they're on. I guess it's a label or a PR. It's called Penultimate Media, and I will be doing another band that's Julie. I've been talking to. She's the manager rep for No Trees. She gave me another band for next week. They're called New Reality, and they'll be on next Thursday. So I love that because I don't have to search so much. Like it
yeah,
seems, and it's not really like even searching anymore. It just comes across my Instagram stories. Those one, the bands that put their ads up there. That's how I get a lot of them.
hmm
And then of course the algorithm too. they're friends of somebody or from the same area of somebody, you know. But yeah, I've been getting that recently, and yeah, it's gonna be. I like having those relationships, you know. They
Right. Yeah.
they want their bands to get publicity, and I'm somebody that can offer that, you know.
And speaking of, I wanted to say, yeah, the labels generally, you know, if everything's working really well, if you know, if people like a band on that label,
Yeah.
it might be quite possible they like other bands on that
Yeah, they'll
label.
go look up the roster and see who else is on there. Yeah, that's
Right.
true. Yeah,
The
because they
labels,
tend to keep the same style genre
right,
on their label. Yeah, kind of like Metal Link. You know, they're not going to get a country band. I doubt.
right. No, hopefully not.
It wouldn't make sense, really. I'm trying to think who else have I had on here that's on Metal Link, but I'd have to go back and look unless you know. Of course, Josh's own band is on there.
Oh,
Oh gosh, I'd have to go back and look at the thing. I should know this, but
it was Jalen. You had Jalen on here, was it?
no. I had Romeopathy from Ireland. Are they on? I think they're on Sode though.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you were on that show, weren't you?
yeah, yeah.
That was kind of a confusing show because I had to, you know, their band name is and it's impossible to search for them anywhere. You can't search
Right.
them. You can search them, but you're not. It's going to be very difficult to find. But yeah, there's the guys. Actually, I think they're either put out one or one's coming out this week or something. They keep sending me.
Feel like the 29th, which would be
maybe something like that. I keep
a
getting
week
it.
from Friday is
Yeah.
when they're because Soda
Those guys were fun. Those guys were fun. I liked hanging out with them.
Soda doesn't put out multiple singles on the same day. I don't think.
Really?
I don't think they do.
Hmm.
So like it'll be like Sorrows this weekend, and I have to book those dates. You know, almost
ahead
a
of time.
year. Yeah.
It can't just be whenever you want to. Then.
Right.
Yeah. That's crazy. I never thought of that. Wonder why he doesn't do more than one release.
He might, but I don't.
Which is not
I don't.
many.
Yeah. I'm a little guilty of not paying complete attention all the time.
Hey, it's no. I don't either. You know, and sometimes I don't even know what we're talking about. You
And
know?
I don't get a lot of notifications from music related stuff on my
I get the
social
Sode
media.
thing. That's about it. Sode newsletter. And he keeps. I try to get Sam on here and do an interview with Sam, but he's very busy. You know, he's got his own band, plus he does Sode Records, and
Mhm.
he's constantly. It seems like he's constantly releasing emails of new things, which is what he's supposed to do. You know, it's his label. So
Right.
you know, that's why I haven't had him on yet because he's just finding time. He can only do it certain times, and I can only do it certain times. Even though I probably have way more availability than he does because, you know, it's just when I'm not doing other things. Other things. There is a band on Sode Records that I really want to get on, and I'm gonna shout them out again because they're awesome. They're called Rat Silo. You ever heard of them?
I've heard of Rat Silo. Yeah, I know.
I really want to get them on here, and because their music's just it's strange and it's different, and it seems like it'd be really good conversation. So Rat Silo, right here. Let's get on here. So
I don't know why
I'll try
they
again.
wouldn't.
I'll try again. I think. Well, they just released a song a couple Fridays ago. That might have, you know, because I know Josh. He said he hit him up about it, but they might just, you know, just could be. They could be busy, but they don't have an hour. They don't have an hour to do this with me. Maybe
At
they
least
need a
one
break.
of
They
them?
need a break. Yeah, they need a break. Take a break. Do this stupid show, and then I'll be happy. I am going to go to a. Every once in a while, I'll have bands on or guests on that. I guess I hate to say it, have made it. You know, the ones that, more well known, if that makes sense. Like I had the lead singer of Flaw, Chris Voltz. I had him on a couple years ago, and I got to hang out with him and meet him in person. That was fun. You know, every once in a while, I had the guy from Paraman 5000 on. Just every once in a while I'll have somebody on like that. Well, I really, really, really want to have Jeff Ridley from Thursday on the show, and
Okay.
he is coming to Pittsburgh in June, June or July. He's doing a solo thing with like a solo tour. Let me look here. It's in July 15th. And he's done a solo thing with the guy Aaron Godwin from Circus Survive. That guy does a
Okay.
solo thing too. So they're doing this like tour thing with another person, and I can't think of it right now. And they're coming to Pittsburgh, and he said in the Instagram post that he will come out and chat because he doesn't normally do that with Thursday just because they're so popular. He would get overrun, which I understand. But with his solo, he said, those of you that have been to my solo shows, you know that I come out. And I was like, there it is right there. I have to go and talk to him in person. Maybe.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to go through a publicist right off the bat. Because they don't know who I am. But Jeff will know. Because Jeff doesn't know, but I met him several years ago before Thursday was huge. Right up the road at Pleasant Street, and they were touring with Coheed and Cambria at the time when Coheed
Oh, wow.
was not really known yet. It's right when Bye Bye Beautiful, that Bye Bye, I don't think that's the name of the song, but that's that song. It's right when they came out with that, so they were just getting started also. And Understanding in a Car Crash was Thursday's. That was my Thursday song. So I'm hoping that would be my chance to talk to him. And I just bought his book. He's got a book out. So hopefully that
Wow.
helps. I might take my book with me and let him sign it. But then I'd
There
have to
you
carry
go.
it the whole time, like a
But
super
you'd be
fan.
Yeah, so everybody would be like, "Hey, that guy got that book signed."
Yeah. I'm sure he's got them on sale at the show, but I don't want to get two. Why would I get two? Probably only going to read it once, maybe twice. I don't know. Depends on how good it is. But it's about his heroin addiction and recovering from that.
Oh, wow.
And it's gotten great reviews. And regardless of the reviews, I would have probably gotten it anyway because it's his.
Yeah.
It's just like people that are into Tool will get everything that Maynard has, except for his wine because it's expensive. I don't know why it's so expensive.
Very small batch for the elite.
Well, okay. So Rock on the Range is now called Sonic Temple Festival over in Columbus.
Uh-huh.
And when I went, it was Rock on the Range, and Tool played Sunday. Yeah, Perfect Circle played Friday, and Tool played on Sunday. And Maynard had his wine garden there. They just made this area, put up these really tall walls, and just made this little like wine lounge in the grass. Like it was just very weird. It was like $15 for a glass, that much in there. It was good though. It was very good wine. I have to give him that. I don't even like wine that much anymore, but it was very good. But I would not $15 for a sip. I'm good.
Mm.
But it's Maynard. That you have to sacrifice $15. He needs it. He needs his money. To make more.
If it weren't for 1 million or 2 million people giving him $15,
Yeah, so he can buy more wigs.
yeah,
And stand in the back. Ugh. No, it was great. It was a great weekend, though. It was fun. I saw Code Orange, and I was stuck in the Code Orange crowd. And I didn't mean to. It was in the middle of the day. It was very... My buddy had to go to the bathroom. I was like... And you can't, okay, I'll meet you over there because there's just millions of people there. I was like, all right, I'll just stay right here. Just come back here, because it was just me and him that were at the show.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, apparently where I was standing was the side stage. And because there was nothing going on when he left to go to the bathroom. And about 5 minutes later, the Code Orange crew got there, and Code Orange started playing, and that place was nuts. Like, I'm just standing there. I'm not in the pit or anything, but I'm just standing there. And I'm like, what just happened here? Because in the middle of the day, it's like 95 degrees. It's so hot. My sunglasses on. I was high. It was really high, and I was like, what? And I kept texting him, where are you? There's probably only 5 minutes, that passed, but it just seemed like forever. Like, what happened here? What's going on? And then another band came on. I swear it was Kitty. I don't think it was. It was somebody like that. Because the Code Orange crowd left, and then this crowd came in, and then the band started. And I'm like, where is he at? Should I start walking somewhere? It was just, it was weird. I'm sure you've been in places it's really hot when you're high, and it's just adds to the feeling, and it's just like you don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I'm not after that. I wasn't. No, no. And then he's like, "Let's go to the vape lounge." I'm like, "Let's not. Let's not go to the vape lounge." Oh, the vape lounge. You ever go to any of those hookah? Do they have those hookah lounges around Austin? I'm sure they do. Like you go in and it's like a
I
piece
don't
of
see a
charcoal.
lot
And
of them anymore.
No,
They were really popular. It seemed like a few years ago.
they
but
were. Yeah,
I think during COVID, I think it might have knocked some of that out
that's
because
true. Yeah,
nobody wants to go suck on a hose.
Some people might want to. I don't know.
Sucking on a COVID hose.
Yeah,
That
that'd be a
sounds
good
like
name for a song.
yeah, I was gonna say that's a song title right there, sucking on a COVID hose.
Maybe one of my techno ones could be that. Suck on a I lost a screw down here. I ought to take that thing off there. I don't use it anyway. It's a one of those headphone holders, but it's below the desk. So like every time I move my chair, my knee hits it. So I should take it off there. I said, "Hey, you want a screw?" Dumb. Okay, you want to do? We'll do the your version of offstage after we listen to the harrowing.
Okay.
And we'll let Jackie tell us that, since I always forget to hit that button. I'll remember now to do that. But harrowing comes out not tomorrow, Friday. I don't know why I keep thinking tomorrow's Friday.
Not tomorrow midnight.
Yeah, tomorrow midnight. So tell us about this song, and then we'll listen to it.
Yeah, so this one, there was a Christian myth, I guess, if you want to call it whatever. That Jesus himself went to hell and checked it out.
Heard that before.
Yeah, so that's kind of what it's about, but it's more about him, a person of privilege, going to view the suffering.
Oh.
With the power of knowing he could do something about it, but choosing to ignore it because he's such a privileged person.
Ah, that's interesting. That's a great perspective. I've heard of that story. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Now, those of you that want this song, you have to wait till Friday. I can't give it to you now, even though I have it. Same with No Trees tomorrow. They have a new one that I'll have. Of course, theirs will come out at midnight tomorrow night. You know, the one that I have. But don't hit me up for these songs. These people trust me not to give them away. So that hasn't happened still. To this day, just have to wait like all the other peasants. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have to wait. You know. All right, here's Jackie with a little bit about the offstage thing, and then the harrowing by Like Sorrow.
Unfiltered, unexpected. We're going off stage next.
ballad. It's got a ballad feel to it. I forgot about that. The lines. You're muted again, Mark. Yeah, it's very balladish, if that's a word, but I'm going to make it a word, even if it's not.
Yeah.
But that I forgot about that. Do 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 do. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful sound that you're doing with the guitars. It really is.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
And
Yes.
that song had a little bit of help. Actually, a whole lot of help, I should say. My buddy Nick Manka played the drums on that.
Nice.
So those are live drums.
Hell yeah.
And then my friend Trevor, my really close friend Trevor, played that guitar solo.
You should have brought them on with you tonight.
Well, yeah, they're pretty busy guys.
They don't have an hour. They don't have an hour, Mark. We just talked about
I think Nick is playing. Him and his fiance or wife have a band here in Austin that they.
Okay.
So I think they're playing 2 shows today.
Jesus. Well, I guess if that's your career, then yes, you play. Yeah.
And then my other buddy, I don't know. I didn't. I guess I didn't think to ask.
Well, hopefully he's not watching and heard you say that, but
I think he liked the story, so I think he knows. So maybe he is watching. If you're watching, hey Trevor.
Hey, you should have came on. If you want to come on still, then hit us up and we'll give you the thing. We got some time. He can do the offstage segment with me.
Text me.
Okay? So did you come up with some questions for me? This is kind of scary. I gotta, because usually I'm happy because I get to ask funny questions, but I'm kind of nervous because I know the kind of questions that you have come up with so far to help out, which are good. But all right, is that what we're doing then?
Who's got the best ones is my fiance.
Okay.
But I wasn't able to come up with anything. I even stole the shit one from coworkers.
Well, that's all right. Well, that it made it to the show, and so you get credit for it. They didn't. I mean, it's your question. Do I have to answer that question now?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't really a question, I don't guess.
Okay. All right.
So, something I don't know about you. What do you do when you're not doing the show?
Sleep. No. My dad drilled natural gas wells back in the day, and I've always, kind of worked for him during the summer, between school and stuff. But I do that now full time.
Oh, nice.
So I well tend. Basically, I go around and there's not really that much to do. There's more to do in the summertime, because grass grows. So I go around and I weed eat the sites and paint the wells and things like that. But yeah, that's what I do during the day, usually.
Awesome.
Yep.
I'm always curious, what gets people into their line of work. In your case, your dad. But I have like buddies who do some really odd things that I wouldn't think they would do.
I used to ask that question on the show, but sometimes people don't want to talk about their personal lives, so I quit doing that.
Yeah.
But what do you do during the day? I don't know what you do during the day either.
I started an eBay business.
Nice. I didn't know that was still going because I knew a lot of people were doing that when eBay came out, but is it pretty lucrative?
It pays what my last job pays, which it's not much.
Yeah.
To be honest, but it's enough to get by on.
What do you sell? What do you are you like a drop shipper or how does that?
No, I sell trading cards.
Okay. Like for anything?
Anything, yeah.
I have a crap ton of baseball cards that I had growing up, and I think they're at my mother's house. They're not. I don't know what they're worth. I know there's a couple in there that are, probably big sellers, but we might have to talk.
Yeah, I did. I'm actually in the process right now of doing my first consignment project.
Okay. Yeah.
For someone else.
Somebody has their stuff and they want to off it, and
yeah, he sent me a couple. I don't know. I wouldn't say maybe 1,000 cards.
Do you have to sit and look through all of them, or
Yeah, and I have to list all of them too.
Is it baseball cards? What kind of cards
His
are?
are mostly baseball. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, you might come across a really good one. I'm sure he would have told you ahead of time if there was a really good one in there somewhere. But
No, he sent some stuff that's earned us both a little bit of money. So
nice, nice, yeah. What? So does it have to be cards? Can it be like an instrument or something?
I sell anything in my house I don't want. You know,
That's a good idea to do. Yeah, I need to do that.
um, I've got
People buy things too. Like
I've
people don't
got
understand.
this.
What's that?
Trying to see if it
Yeah, it's
won't
blurring because of
focus.
the filter. Yeah, there it is.
Uh,
Yeah, down. Yeah, there you go. What
yeah,
is that?
so
Is that a porno?
now it's a May the Force be with you windshield sticker. Why I have it,
Oh,
I
like to
don't
go
know.
across for sunlight and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
okay.
it's on there. It's just it.
And people will buy that shit. People don't
You're
understand.
right. Yeah.
Other people don't
Anything
understand.
I
People will
want.
buy shit. People will buy things that they might not never have seen or can't get around them anywhere, and they see it on there, and then on a whim they'll buy it.
Right. Yeah, and that I think I have that up there for like $5,
Yeah,
but it's trash
something
to me.
exactly. But you don't want to throw it away because somebody will get it. It's
Right.
worth something to
Somebody.
somebody. Somebody says that all the time, or has a fun little crap with that phrase, and then they're like, "Oh, this is for my car," or somebody doesn't even have a car, but they'll buy it for a gift. People will buy shit for anything, any reason. You
Yeah,
know?
that's my whole
People
thing
shop.
is like, it's not always trash. It could be somebody else may want
Yeah.
it. People go to Goodwill and shop all the time. Why
Do you
get
want
it
to
to
do you want to
Goodwill
plug
when you can sell it?
do you want to plug your shop? So, and I can put it in the description also if you want me to.
Yeah,
For
it's
people.
called Puck and Card Co.
Yeah, you'll
Where
have to plug it.
collectors go.
Oh, you're so funny. You should do like your own advertisements on TV.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, send me that. Send me your link, and I'll put it in the description, so that way people
Okay.
can maybe get you some more business. Maybe sell that sunshade.
And there's Pokemon on there, and people love that
People
right
love that
now.
shit. Yeah, they love everything. I do have a Pokemon card somewhere. The band The Undertaking that I saw in Erie recently,
Mhm.
when they send out their merch, I have to say their band name like that. But when they send out their merch, they always send like, hang on a minute. Hang on.
Okay.
I don't have it handy, but he'll send out like figurines. Hang on, it's over here. I think. I don't know where it's at. Damn it. I thought it was over here, but I don't know where it's. I don't know what I did with it. I just saw it the other day. Maybe it's in this drawer. Hang on a minute. I think it's. I don't know. He'll send like the last thing I got a T-shirt from him last time, and he sent a like a Toy Story Buzz Lightyear figurine like for kids,
Yeah.
and then he'll send. Then I got a Pokemon card with it, and there's no reason I need a Pokemon card, but he just sends it anyway. It's funny. So yeah, it's like, yeah, but people are into that shit. People pay out the ass for like the right thing to complete their collection, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of, I guess, my goal with my whole shop is that I sell things that people may need to complete their collections.
Yeah,
I'm not, I don't buy a pack of baseball cards and hope I get some guy's autograph that's going to make me $1,000. That's just gambling,
right.
you know.
Well, you do get a
What I,
pack. You get a piece of gum with some of them though.
yeah,
Really
yeah.
hard gum, but yeah. Yeah, that's
But
cool, man.
I guess I kind of hope that, it can help people out,
Yeah.
for a fair price.
Well, that's a little bit more interesting than what I do, so at least you have fun with it, I
I
guess.
don't think so.
You have to sit and look through 1,000 cards though, so I don't know how much fun that would be, honestly.
I love it. I love it, honestly.
Yeah, I'll have to get my baseball cards from I'm pretty sure they're at my parents' house, and I kept them in like the good plastic or whatever to keep them, so the edges don't get messed up. Things like so.
Yeah.
They're in great condition. Anyway,
You never know.
what else you got
never
for
know.
me? You got any other questions about me? It can be about me. It's fine.
Yeah. So when you start making electronic music, uh, who's your biggest influences with that?
Sasha.
Sasha
Sasha is my favorite.
from
Um,
KMFDM.
um, no, I don't think so. I don't think he was in that. Was he? I don't know. He did a lot of things
There
with
is
John.
a Sasha in KMFDM,
He
but
did
I
a lot of
don't
things
know.
with John Digweed back in the day, and he still does actually. But John Digweed would be another one that I look up to. That style, of course, my style is nothing like theirs, but that's like my go-to. I'll send you like my favorite album from Sasha that I listen to, and then that might. Um, but yeah, it would have to be Sasha for one because he's like the first that I heard that I could kind of that I really was into back in college. Somebody that I met. He was in one of my classes. He was from like Detroit or some. He was like, you've got to listen to this. I'm like, okay, because he did like turntables and stuff. This guy, and his style was nothing like this either. And he's like, just listen, just take this home and just listen to it by yourself. And I'm like, oh, this is shit. Like I was like, yes. And it's not like banging like metal music would be, but it's just like you're hearing all these electronic sounds happening, and it's just like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh, and then that you know,
I
it's
enjoy it
just
personally.
yeah, it's very and it makes and when I listen to other artists now, especially like up and coming artists, and that's in the the house. It's mainly house is what I listen to, and when I listen to like a new artist that's up and coming, it's not like ooh, there's that. It might be a sound I've even heard before, but it's the beat and where they go with the beat, and if it's in 4, even if it's in 5/4, like I'll pay attention to that now. Like oh, okay,
Mhm.
that's okay. So it's just, and they're making this banging music that people are dancing in clubs to around the world, and it's like, wow, that's not what that's not my aim, but I mean that'd be badass, but it's just fun to
So
do,
much,
I think.
so much different when I listen to
Yeah.
on a normal basis.
Hmm.
Um, in fact, I don't listen to anything that sounds like what I play.
What do you listen to normally?
Oh man, Adele, Lady Gaga.
Seriously? Oh,
Yeah, for real.
really? No, no, I never.
For real.
Wow.
You never know. I wouldn't,
No.
but I listen to, I like Suede a whole lot. They were a British band, started in the '90s. Smashing Pumpkins. I don't really
Oh
listen to
yeah, I love
metal.
pumpkins. I love
I mean,
pumpkins.
I like metal, and I like some bands a lot more than others. But just on a daily basis, I listen to mostly like pop.
Who's your all-time favorite of any genre? All time.
Probably Smashing Pumpkins.
That would be my
Yeah.
favorite, but that's up there in the top
Um,
3.
and then after that, Bad Religion.
Ah, okay. And see, that's two different ones.
The Bad Religion, if you think of like even my music, I try to keep that ultra melodic sound, and I was influenced, by Bad Religion to do that because they play punk rock, but it's so melodic that it's almost like you know, it's like campfire music kind of
Yeah.
set to punk rock.
All
It's
right, give me one more question, and then we'll wrap up the offstage thing, and then I have a few questions about like sorrow, and then you know. But ask me one more question. You have one more?
yeah. What are those the AX or AHX 50s?
I saw the sides of yours too when you went before.
Yeah,
These are the yeah. Rob got me these actually. These are they came out with this limited run color. They're the AT. All right, here I'll tell you a second. They're the whoops, no, go back. The ATM 50, ATHM 50.
yeah. That's what these are.
Yeah.
I got the limited edition ice blue.
This is I can't remember the name of the color, but yeah, this is like a darker blue that they had came
Yeah,
out with. And then
that's awesome.
I have a pair of black ones that are Bluetooth that I keep in the living rooms whenever Ashley gets to sleep and I can't play music. I just put my headphones on, but they're Bluetooth.
I had the
They also
30s.
plug in. They also plug in when I have somebody here. I can plug them in. But yeah, they're you can't beat these headphones really.
No, I mean for the price, Like they
Audio
are.
Technica, we need sponsorships. Mark needs a sponsorship, and
Yeah.
I need a sponsorship also because we're wearing your crap. Well, it's not crap, but you know what we mean. We mean, but yeah, it's. I have two, and I actually look at this.
I have the 30s and I upgraded to the 50s.
This is vintage right here. These are old. These are the first ones I ever used. They don't sound as good, but hey, you got to start somewhere, you know. Those are my backups for somebody else, not for me. Not for me. But yeah, I mean, look, your name is all over the show. Look, you know, maybe that's how you do it. I don't know. And gosh, sure, microphones and Rode. This is a Rode boom stand. I mean, we could do this all day, and I'm sure you got crap laying around there.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, everybody, that's got to be tough for them too because everybody uses their microphones. You know, there's good microphones.
Right.
Yeah, I have a Beta 58 over there that I sing into. They're just the shit. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Well, the mixer I can't really show you because the camera, but it's a Zoom mixer. I've used
I don't
a lot
have a
of Zoom
mixer.
things. You need to get a mixer. I'll sell you this one when I'm done with it.
I do mine all digitally on the
That's the way to go.
DAW.
I hear that's the way to go. Which DAW do you use?
Studio One.
I don't think I've used that one or tried. I attempted to use Ableton because I got a free link for their trial or something, and I don't even think I opened it, honestly.
Ableton's different. It's not like very straightforward. It's kind of meant to use like with one of the MX whatever pad.
Yeah.
MPX pads.
Well, what's next for Like Sorrow? You got the release coming Friday. What do people look forward to after that happens? Because you know everybody's looking towards the future. When's the next one? When's the next one?
I have another one coming out in July.
Nice.
I think the 11th, maybe.
Okay.
Or the 13th.
All right. And then, of course, the one in September that you told us about.
Right. And,
is there a chance that you could do this stuff live?
It would be difficult. It'd be just me.
Well, I mean, you got buddies that could do it with you.
Yeah, I don't know how many of them would, though.
Oh, I'm sure they would. I would come down and do it with you.
Most of my friends here are into country or indie rock.
Well, I will come down and play drums. If you get a chance to do this live, I will come down and play drums for you.
Okay.
We'll do that. Is that a deal?
That's a deal.
I can't guarantee it'll be any good, but, you know, I'll practice.
Well, they're slow drums for the most part.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. I could do it. Damn it, we'll do it. Just cover the other parts. I'll play the bass and the drums, and you sing and play the guitar. Well, no, you don't want to put me on bass. No, never mind. We'll skip that. I could sing harmony while I'm playing drums.
Maybe I'll play bass and sing and get a couple guitars.
There you go. That'd be the best thing. Yeah.
Especially some guys who know how to shred. That'd be kind of cool. Add some solos.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The solo was very nice in the Harrowing also. I like that. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed both of them. This is my favorite show of all time. Don't you love how I say that? Hey, tomorrow I have a band that was on. Gosh, I think it was last year. I really do. Last year sometime. I have to look it up again. No Trees Touch the Sky. They've gotten new members, but it's only going to be Bill and Chris. Yes, Bill and Chris will be the ones on again. They were the ones on last time. We had a great show last time. I have to practice this now, and maybe you can practice this with me. They're from Philly, and I have to practice saying the city of brother. See, I can't do it. The city of brotherly love, because it's
City of brotherly love.
Yeah,
you gotta say it slow.
The city of brotherly love.
There
You know what I'll
go.
do? I'll just sample myself saying that and then just mouth it on the show.
Yeah.
Because I told him I'd practice.
Hit the button.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll do that. But yeah, so they're on tomorrow at 8 p.m. And we'll be hearing their newest single, Three Vistas, which comes out at midnight tomorrow night.
Nice.
But it'll be fun to talk to them. We had a great show last time they were on, especially with my tongue twister, because I was like, can you guys teach me how to say it? And they're like, well, we want to hear you say it. I'm like, oh, damn. So,
Say
the
it
city of brotherly love.
City of brotherly love.
So coming, our guest tonight from the city of brotherly love. See, I messed it up again. It's the brotherly.
Brotherly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard word.
I just.
Bro.
How about the city of
brothers.
bro love? But then that kind of sounds kind of strange.
Bro love.
Bro love.
Just bro love.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But that's 8 p.m.
Yes.
tomorrow night. Join us for that. And then next week, so far, I have New Reality from Rochester, New York. They're also on Penultimate Media. That show is at 8 p.m. Or no, 7 p.m. next week. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what we. Because I just scheduled it last night. Let's see what else. What else am I missing? I think I covered everything. Did you cover it? Oh, do you want to tell people where your music is? Pretty much everywhere, right?
Yeah, check it out. Spotify, of course. Any streaming service, Apple Music, Deezer, whatever else, Tidal. And then Bandcamp if you want to give me money.
True. Yeah. Bandcamp. People forget about Bandcamp because that's a good source of, you can get the actual digital copy or you get the digital copy, but things come with it usually, right? Like extra tracks and things like that sometimes. Plus they have that Bandcamp Friday where it's, there's a lot. Bandcamp's is a pretty good platform that I don't utilize that much either for my stuff. But yeah, well, stick around if you can, Mark. We'll chit chat a little bit. Yeah, tomorrow's No Trees Touch the Sky. I gotta put all those words up here, but it's not that many words. I've had longer ones to change, but Like Sorrow. Look up Like Sorrow everywhere. Check out his music. He's got a new one coming out Friday. Well, midnight Thursday, I guess tomorrow night. Called Their Heroine that we listened to. So if you want to listen to it again, don't hit me up because I'm not going to send it to you. Just rewind the show and you'll hear it again.
Hit me up, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, there you go. See? Yeah, that's the perks, right? You could be in the club. You got to be in the club like me, Let's see. That's about it, I think. Yeah, tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Thanks, Mark, for being on as a guest again. Let's do it again in July.
Yeah.
And then we'll do it again in September. And every release, You're a VIP on here. A straight up VIP. Hey, playing us out of the show is a band from Pittsburgh. The lead singer, Brian Sykes-Howe, is in several different kinds of bands. He's also a DJ and has his own podcast called Start the Beat. And he does the same similar kind of thing I do. Only he doesn't do his live. His are out on all podcast streaming platforms. Check it out, Start the Beat podcast. This is his band Normal Creatures. Just came out with a new album called Fluorescent Black. This is Worse Than Animals, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night with No Trees Touch the Sky. Have a good one.